If so, who tops the list for you as far as who you just can't wait to see develop and kind of take their place in the NBA's elite in here and the near future?
Yeah, no, we got to rank them, of course. But it is tough to do. And look, though, I would have to have OKC at the top. Big part of that is just what they've already accomplished, right? Like I think they won 40 games last year. They far exceeded expectations. A lot of people had them projected like in the low 20s for wins. So they had a really nice season. They ended up losing in the play-in, but they were right there on the cusp of the playoffs. And they've got Shai. So like if we're, like this is an MVP level player. This is an all NBA first team guy. This is a guy that I like as kind of like a long shot MVP candidate next season. I want to say the betting odds have him like 8th or 9th. I'd probably have him in my top 5 just because like I think if OKC could win like 48, 50 games, we think about the numbers he puts up and how impactful he is. He's right there. So I think just having Shai and then just their kind of level of success last season, I have to put them first. And I just like how their pieces fit. I mean, Giddey, they just have all these like between Shai, Giddey, and J-Dub, Jalen Williams, like they've just got these 3 kind of like big creator guard kind of guys. Like they're almost like positionless in that sense. And then I'm also very high on Chet Holmgren, like very, very high on that kid. I think he's going to be a monster rim protector from the jump in the NBA. So, yeah, when you factor in that trio, not to mention Lou Dort, who I think is a lot younger than most people realize. Like, I think he's only like 23. He kind of seems older, but he's super young. So he's part of that young core as well. And then they drafted Cason Wallace. Like they've got Ousmane Dieng, who I like a lot. I think he's got almost as high a ceiling as anybody. I don't know if he's going to hit it, but when you talk about potential, he's right there. So they would be my number 1 because like I think even next season, again, this is a team that could win 45 plus games. That's not even like a hot take. Like I think they're probably projected in that range. Like in 50 wouldn't even surprise me for that team. So just being that far ahead of the game with such a young average age, like even Shai, I think just turned 25. I think Giddey's like 20, maybe 21. Chet is like 21. Like J-Dub maybe 21, 22. They're very, very young and they're already like legitimately good. So they have to be number 1 for me if we're ranking them. And we can go from there.
Agreed. We're on the same page. I've been a Shai supporter for probably since his Clipper days, and he was putting on a show there in that first round series against the Warriors. 2018, I think, where they played in that first round, Clippers, Warriors.
19. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Yeah. Ever since then, and I saw what he did on that stage against that team, I was like, yeah, there's something brewing there. And then
he had like a 20. I think he had a 25-point game, something like that. Yeah. I remember that too. Yeah, he was outstanding.
Yeah, he was, and you could see
they traded him.
They traded him, and I tweeted this the other day. I was like, they did not want to trade this guy. I mean, when the time came, and it's like, all right, we're gonna give you Paul George. We need Shai, and they're just like, oh, we do not want, because they saw he was going to be a great player.
Yeah.
I don't know if they saw MVP. But they saw definitely a star, possibly even a superstar ceiling. So that's all on display right now. We see it in the World Cup. We see him taking ankles. We see him just putting on all-around show. And then, you go down the roster. I think the main reason, and I think that we're kind of on the same page here, the main reason they're number 1 is because they have a history of success already. They're building that resume. And then on top of that, everything kind of fits into place.